More with UNI head football coach Mark Farley as the UNI Panther defense put up a shutout in the first half. Coach, you talked about the balance that you saw in the first half of that football game, but from the defense, you're seeing a pretty high level intensity early on this year.
Well, we're tackling well, which was good. I mean, we worked on it, but that was a concern. Our secondary's been playing well. That was something that we emphasized during camp, and we continue to get better. Now, with a week off, now we got to go right back to the cautiousness of we better be ready to play, because at any time, with the style of offenses that we play, it could explode.
The defense allowed just 100 rushing yards, 126 passing yards. Which of those two maybe pleases you the most?
I always like stopping the run. If you stop the run, you always have a chance to make them one-dimensional. It's hard to go ahead and say that they're going to run the ball and throw the ball, because I think they get you on your heels and you start to guess a little bit as a defensive coordinator. So I always like to try to take away the run first in my career, and hopefully that has made the difference of winning some football games.
Bryce Slater, young man out of Grundy Center, Iowa, led the team with 13 tackles. He likes to come up and stop the run. Delivers a good hit. What are you seeing out of Slater?
Well, Slater's gotten better every week too. He improved from week 1 to week 2, and he was getting in rhythm, and I know he expects more from his game, as do we, but he had a very productive game a couple weeks ago.
Omar Brown, the freshman, his first career interception too, came up with a nice play.
He is. He played well at Idaho State. He played well in this particular football game, and hopefully with the week off we clean him up a little bit, because anytime you put a freshman on the field, people are going to look for that and go after that. So we just have to continue to improve his game as people try to identify what his weaknesses are, but he's a strong football player.
Now, when you talk about the linebackers having success in the secondary, you always say it starts up front. That defensive line came up with 3 sacks. Jared Brinkman was in on a few of those plays, and they seem to be just a solid, cohesive unit.
Well, sacks are critical in any game, and they take rhythm away from the offense, and we need to continue to do that. But I think we've got 3 guys that can rush the edge, and we have 3 guys that can attack the middle. So we've got a good rotation of players, and feel very confident with them.
A lot of different guys running that defensive line. We got a story coming up right now on Ellerson Smith. He's a guy showing some speed, showing a much improved ability here this season.
Exactly, and he's a stronger player this year than he was last year. He's heavier, and he's more confident because he got his first taste of playing last year, but now he's an experienced player.
All right, we'll have more with UNI head football coach Mark Farley. The Panthers getting ready for a 4 p.m. kickoff against Idaho State right now. Here's a story on junior defensive lineman Ellerson Smith.